Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My video today is going to be another sort of catch up with me. I'm really glad that you guys really enjoyed the vlog video, the maternity video. It was something that I've been meaning to do for a while, and it's not really something that's up my street. I try to keep my relationship, my private life, very separate from YouTube, but you know, these things are the things that I am going through, and I've been saying this for ages and ages, but I do want to start talking about the things that affect me, how my business and like everything kind of affects me. You have seen drips and drabs of it here and there, and it's one of the reasons why I launched the podcast, but I don't really go into so much detail with a lot of the things, just because one, it's hard, two, I don't have time, and it's just, life is a bit like this sometimes. But during this period I'm finding that I'm a lot more centered, and I'm getting back to the things that I love doing, and I definitely want to share more about my experiences, because to be quite honest, it would really help me if I saw these sort of videos. So I thought, why not create the videos that I would like to see? I don't necessarily need to know, you know, who your hubby is or who you're dating, but I want to inject some fun into my channel. And I've been saying this for ages, so I'm not going to say it again in this video, but you get the drift. So lots of things have happened. First of all, I obviously going to be a mum of two. That, I wouldn't say took me by surprise, because we all know how we got to that situation, you know. So that was definitely something that threw things up in the air for me. But again, this is the second time I've been pregnant, but every time I've had my pregnancies, I have felt very calm. It's almost like everything is like, I have a plan, and then I get pregnant and I'm just like, you know what, I just need to zen. I just need to take this time to be peaceful. And that's what's happened this time round. I was a lot more prepared than I was the first time round. The first time round, I had a lot of things going on when I was pregnant with Tam. I was like, I found out I was pregnant a week after I got engaged, and then I'd already set the date. And like, that year was like a whirlwind, amazing year for me. Tam came to life, and then the 2019 was all about, well, from when he was born in 2018 to 2019 was all about me readjusting into motherhood, business owner, and being a wife, and there were just so many things going on, and I felt well and truly overwhelmed looking back. I think I handled it the best I could, but I didn't have any time to plan anything. So coming up to the end of 2019, I would say roughly, like, my mentality in 2019, take away, you know, my love for baby and my love for being a mum, I resented a lot of the things that came with the business. I became a lot more money driven. It was still about passion, but it became more about, yeah, I don't know, like, my mindset completely changed. And I do delve into this on my podcast, so if you haven't listened to my podcast, please do, because there's like a couple of episodes when I really talk about how deflated I felt and how awful I felt, and how my mindset was just effed for a really, really, like, to me, what felt like a really long time. I've always said I'm a glass half full type of person. The way I view life is, I don't do things because I'm driven by money. I do them because I love doing hair. So when it became very much about, like, I just became quite resentful towards like the middle of the year, and I think I went through that period for a good like 2-3 months. I was very angry towards the business, because I just felt like there were so many things I wanted to do, and I felt very restricted. And then roughly around September times last year, maybe September, October, I got asked to be on a panel, and that completely changed my perspective on a lot of things. I just felt a lot more free. I felt like I was coming around. I feel like everyone has that period when they go through, you kind of have to hit your rock bottom and then go back up, and I feel like I was coming around, but that kind of really helped me see a different perspective. And my husband was really good at bringing me back to reality without actually telling me stuff. He was just very understanding and listening to my rants and listening to the things that I mean, I just wanted to give up a lot of the time. I just felt like the business was dragging me down. I felt like the business was hiding what I felt was me. You know, I felt like I had hidden behind the business because I wanted to grow it so much that I'd retracted from being Andree Marie, and I was now just this person that worked at MAISON Style. And I think the realization that I could be both, I could do both, and I could kind of separate the two without dragging myself down, was probably like the best revelation of 2019 for me. I found myself again. So around September, I started to come back around, and you know, my podcast was more like therapy for me. I felt like it really helped me talk through things that I talk about with my clients, but no one, I don't hear a lot of people talking about them currently going through something. I always read about people having gone through something, but people currently like working things out is not something that I see very often. So I wanted to talk about it, and I did talk about it on the podcast, but I'm just, you know, kind of reflecting back on what I talked about. And yeah, so that happened, and then once I got out of that, the joy that I felt after that was so amazing. And then I fell pregnant in October. So once I kind of came out of that, I felt really, really good. It felt great to be in that space. I felt like I was giving more to the salon. And then like almost as soon as that happened, as soon as I felt like, okay, I'm back to being 100% me, both my favorite staff members, Beverly and Flo, were really ill, and they were off work for like a really long period of time. Beverly had already been ill for quite a long time, but Flo was now also ill. So then I was left to do everything in the salon. So I had no assistance, nothing. And if you're self-employed or you've worked in a business, you know that it's very hard, especially as a hairdresser, to find good people. And I could not find good people for the life of me. And I'd kind of come to a point where obviously, like, he did get on top of me, but because my perspective had changed, I know that if that had happened and I had the mindset that I had at the beginning and middle of the year, I would have been like, close shop, that's it, I'm done, I'm just gonna freelance somewhere, you lot can have the shop, I'm out. But because I was back to me, it just felt a lot more like, you know what, this is another test. Let me take a moment. And then I just took that moment and I just kind of ran with it. And yeah, so I fell pregnant really soon after that, and that period was what I will call the overwhelming period. It was the period where I was like, I am going to come out to the other side. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I do know that this is a massive test and it's going to get better. So I spent pretty much my first trimester doing everything, working 11-hour shifts, cleaning the salon, doing everything that an assistant would do, taking orders, coming home, looking after my son, being all the things that you are. And then just little things started happening, and I'm convinced, no one can tell me otherwise, I'm convinced it was because of my positive attitude. I got I got to work at the Brit Awards with and I got to do I was part of the team that did Lizzo's Dancers at the Brit Awards. I got to be part of a Hair Advisor UK's panel again, which I really enjoyed. I got to be a lead stylist for Avalon. They did a campaign, and I recently found out, well, yesterday, I found out that one of the pictures is going to be in the posters. It's going to be the poster. Can I speak English? Can I? One of the pictures is going to be the poster everywhere in Europe. So that psyched me out. Just things started happening, and then I got to do a shoot with Mahalia, like a singer. So just like everything that I kind of said was going to happen started happening, even in the midst of the craziness of my life. So all of this happened sort of like in my first trimester, and honestly I was like, every time something came at me, I was like, can I really do this? Can I do another thing that might send me over the edge? But I promise you, if I hadn't gone through what I went through emotionally last year, and a lot of it was emotional, a lot of it was suppressed feelings that I had towards the salon, had I not had that, again, I think I would have just closed up shop, because it's got nothing to do with not being able to do it, but everything to do with where you think you should be. And that was my thing. I thought I should be somewhere, and I wasn't appreciating where I was. I wasn't appreciating my struggle. I wasn't appreciating my triumphs. I wasn't appreciating the fact that I'm not just a person, that single person that had no other responsibilities but her career. My focus was so different now. So yeah, so when those things started happening, I was so happy. And then this happened, and sure, the salon turned 3 like yesterday, so the 7th of April, and it was just, it was a hard pill to swallow, but not, I know that it's not my fault what's happening. Everyone's going through this thing together. We're all going through this thing together, and it's something that unfortunately no one can help. It's unfortunate that it's happening. It's one of the, we're actually in the midst of history right now. Like, I will be telling Tam and baby that this is in 2020 this happened, and that will always be part of my story. So I think being in this situation, being at home, has made me appreciate my family so much more. It's made me appreciate my job so much more, and it's made me appreciate life so much more. I did kind of take myself away from social media for a bit. So like for the first 2 weeks of self-isolating, I just took myself off of social media, because if I hear those TikTok challenges, I think I might explode. Like, there's so many things happening on social media right now, and it can be really like, it can be alarmingly just, you can get sucked into it. So I had to take myself out of that, and I had to refocus, and then I just think everything is just a little bit more blissful at the moment. I'm just really, I'm really sad that I had to close the salon, because especially when we were literally just celebrating our 3rd anniversary. But I think it's taking me almost back to the things that I had to look at, to be like, okay, this is what the salon actually needs. This is what my business needs. This is what I need. This is what my family needs. It's giving me time to plan. It's giving me time to put so many things into perspective, and I am forever grateful for that. It's time that I pleaded for, and it's time that I've got back somehow. And the only thing that I'm really bugged out about is the fact that I finally found great staff, and literally as soon as they started we had to shut. So shout out to Rashida and Abby, who started like literally a month, 2 weeks before we shut. But those girls, their spirits are so amazing, and I can't wait to get back to the salon and just indulge in teaching and growing with them, because I feel like even when you have stylists, you grow with them as well. But yeah, so that's my update. I don't know if it's more like a ramble, but it's us now, you know, it's us. I wanted to share this with you guys because I don't know, it's my truth, and I just feel like it needed to be shared. And another great thing that happened is that my podcast got its first publish in Black Beauty magazine, which was amazing. And again, because I took time off on social media, I don't have any episodes out. I have loads of episodes that I've actually done, but I haven't edited. So that being said, there will be a rush of episodes out on the podcast if you're interested, but there will be also a rush of videos on here. I'm going to try and be more consistent in terms of releasing more videos, but like I said, I'm still trying to be all zen like and enjoy my pregnancy and enjoy my family time, and filming takes up a lot of time. So I'm going to try and film at least 2 to 3 times a week, just to get back into the swing of things, and then so that there's content for you guys, because I promise you, when I have baby, you ain't gonna see me. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.